All right, welcome back, everybody, to a brand new video here on the second channel. We got some more new card reveals that are going to be featured in our set that's coming out in March, Journey Together. This is going to be our rotation set, effectively. And, of course, we just got a bunch of reveals for this new set just a few days ago. After the Champions League, they revealed some new cards, but we didn't get to really see most of the new cards. Like, we were missing out on the Hobz Pokemon, but now we got a reveal for the Hobz Pokemon. And the Hobz engine reminds me a lot of an old archetype Buzzwole Lycanroc. So I'm definitely excited to break down these new cards. We got some new EXs, some new trainer cards, some new trainers Pokemon. Pretty excited to look at all these new cards and see what they are all about in today's video. And if y'all are excited for today's video, leave a like on the video. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. We're on the road to 19,000 subs here on the second channel. I'll leave a link to Pokebeach down below if you want to go check out any of these cards for yourself and give them a read. But yeah, let's get into the video. Starting off, we have a new Meowscarada line, maybe optimal Floragato, but of course we do have a new one prize Meowscarada with the ability Showtime. Once you're in turn, you may use the ability. If this Pokemon is on your bench, you can switch it with your active Pokemon. I mean, the ability's fine for what it's worth. Free switch isn't terrible, but we do have the attack Rising Bloom for 2 Colorless Energy. Does 90 damage. If your opponent's active is a Pokemon EX, do 90 more damage. Not the worst attack ever. I mean, Double Turbo does rotate, though, by the time this card releases. Though if you want to play a Meowscarada EX deck, you know, maybe you could play this one-prize Meowscarada. There isn't really good one-prize Meowscarada. So now there is a decent one, I guess. Not the worst card ever, not the best card ever. It's just kind of is what it is. Nothing too crazy to really look at here. But we do have some more Iono Pokemon. First off, we got the Iono's Voltorb. Now, keep in mind, there is some context behind the Iono engine. We can read Voltorb here with the attack. Chain Bolt does 20 damage. You do 20 more damage for each light energy on all of your Iono Pokemon. So, specifically only works with Iono Pokemon. We did see the reveal of the Iono's Belly Bolt, and of course, the Iono's Kilowattrel. Now, keep in mind, Iono's Belly Bolt has that ability that allows you to put as many light energy as you want from your hand during your turn to your Iono Pokemon. So, you can use the Iono's Belly Bolt to put a bunch of energy in play for the Voltorb. Now, Voltorb is a decent one-prize attacker for the Belly Bolt Iono deck. But it's nothing too crazy. You need a lot of energy to do huge knockouts. Like, reasonably speaking, you can probably knock out smaller Pokemon in that range of, like, 180 HP to, like, 220, 240 HP. You're probably not knocking out Charizard. You would need way too much energy. But it's not a bad attacker. It can help in the prize trade against other archetypes within the Belly Bolt deck. With that new stadium that's coming out, there's a lot of support for the Iono deck. Voltorb ends up actually being a pretty decent one-prize attacker for that deck. Again, the Belly Bolt really works well with Iono's Voltorb. And then we got Iono's Electrode, which evolves from Voltorb, obviously. This actually might be worse than the Voltorb. It does have the attack Heart-Pounding Bomb for 2 lightning energy. You do 100 damage to yourself. You flip a coin of heads. Your opponent's active is then knocked out. Very interesting attack. You do knock yourself out unless you put a tool on so you get more health, like a Hero's Cape or a Luxurious Cape. Unfortunately, this card is very mid because you're potentially knocking yourself out to have a 50-50 chance to kill your opponent's active. I don't think this Electrode, unfortunately, is very good. Like, yeah, the Voltorb is just better. Your other attack, Electric Ball, isn't really that good. Yes, you can power this thing up via the Belly Bolt, but I don't know. It's just not worth it. Like, it's a very risky card. You'd have to play HP modifiers to make this card remotely work, because knocking yourself out to then flip tails would feel extremely bad. Like, that would suck. So I'm not sure about Electrode. Voltorb, I am sure about. Then, of course, we got Iono's Kilowattrel in its trainer gallery artwork. We did look at this card that got revealed a couple days ago alongside the Belly Bolt. It's got that ability Flash Draw. You discard a basic light energy from his Pokemon or to use ability. Once you're in turn, draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. So you have that built-in draw engine, very similar to the Rev of Room we got from Scarlet and Violet base set. So the Iono archetype looks pretty decent. We have a decent attacker with Belly Bolt, which is still probably the main attacker of the deck. But then you have that one prize Voltorb, and then you have the Electrode, which, unless we're missing something here, think the Electrode is probably the weakest link. But you do have a draw engine, and having a built-in draw engine within your deck in the form of Kilowattrel is pretty nice. I don't know if we're going to get any more Iono Pokemon revealed. So for now, we just have these 3 Pokemon to work from. Voltorb and Belly Bolt get the job done alongside the Iono's Kilowattrel to help you draw cards. All right, we got a new Mamoswine here. Mamoswine EX. We haven't had a playable Mamoswine in quite some time. I know Ross from PTCG Radio is probably loving this card right now. It's got the ability Mammoth Carrier. It reminds me a lot of the old Nidoqueen. I think back from, was it Unbroken Bonds or Team Up? I think it was Team Up. Anyways, it's got the ability, we can search check for a Pokemon, reveal it, and put in your hand. Decent ability, right? Getting Pokemon for free is never a bad thing because it combines really well with the potential attack that you're going to be using. For 2 fire energy, you do Rumbling March, does 180 damage, do 40 more damage for each Stage 2 Pokemon on your bench. So the concept of playing Mamoswine is you want to put a bunch of Stage 2 Pokemon to play, and you can hit pretty hard. I mean, 1 Stage 2 is 220, 2 is 260, 3 is 300, 4 Stage 2s is 340, which is like the magic number you're going to want to hit. And there are a decent amount of Stage 2 Pokemon you can play. Like, off the top of my head, I can't really think of as many. I'm sure you guys can comment them. The one I know you 100% will play with Mamoswine is obviously a Pidgeot. You're going to play Pidgeot Mamoswine. Pidgeot Mamoswine is most likely going to be the best way to kind of play this. You just got to figure out what other Stage 2s you want to have. You know, you're probably going to have another Mamoswine in place. There's 2. So I'm not sure. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any other Stage 2s. Maybe the Quaquaval with up-tempo. I don't know. I'm trying to think of Stage 2s to think off the top of my head. But yeah, those are like, the Pidgeot is like the best one I can think of. But yeah, decent card. This card does have good support cards behind it to help synergize with the attack, right? You have the ability to find a Stage 2s. You can play Rare Candy. You can play the Arvin Engine. Or, you know, you can also play this card with Grand Tree. The A-Spec card Grand Tree is a grand card to play with Mamoswine. It's a perfect card to play with Mamoswine, right? You use Grand Tree to put a Stage 2 Pokemon into play, which is really good. Grand Tree, Mamoswine is also going to be nice. So definitely has a decent amount of support behind it. It's got some good Pokemon to pick from, to have on your bench to support the attack, and have abilities. Yeah, pretty strong card. It's fighting type, 340 HP. It's a monster. Thankfully, Swinub is also searchable with Buddy Poffin. So honestly, Mamoswine looks like it could be good. Again, this is like the first playable Mamoswine we've had in quite some time. Like, I legit can't remember the last time I had a playable Mamoswine. It has been a long time. All right. Next up, we got the Hobz Zacian. Again, we didn't get the Hobz revealed before, but now we finally got to the Hop Pokemon. And the entire engine deck reminds me a lot of Buzzwole, Lycanroc EX. A very similar archetype. And that deck was one of the best archetypes from the Sun and Moon era. So Hobz Zacian here is a basic metal Pokemon with 230 HP. It's got the attack Close Cleave. For Close Energy, you do 30 damage. You do 30 more damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So we've seen this attack before with like Lander CX, Buzzwole GX, right? We were doing that 30-30 pick. Not bad at all. Even in like this new era, I assume when the card comes out, the attack isn't terrible, right? As long as Zacian doesn't get KO'd easily, I mean, you're going to be able to soften stuff up to be KO'd. Because then you got the attack Brave Slash for 3 metals and a Close Energy. You do 240 damage, and then during your next turn, this Pokemon cannot use Brave Slash. So very similar to Buzzwole GX, right? You have that Jet Punch attack that it had, and then you have that other attack that just does big damage. So yeah, Hobz Zacian is not bad, but there are a good amount of cards to support the Zacian we're going to look at here. First off, we do have the Hopps Snorlax here with the ability Big Belly. The attacks of your Hopps Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. The effect of Big Belly doesn't stack, so kind of like Togekiss, you can't have like 4 of these in play and do a bunch of shenanigans. But that's a lot. I mean, a Hopps Snorlax in play with Zacian on the bench. I mean, right away, that first attack is doing 60 damage to the active, and then Brave Slash is doing 270 damage with a Snorlax on the bench. That is pretty dang impressive. But we're about to look at some even more new cards, like the Hopps Double with the ability Challenge Horn. When you play this Pokemon from hand, to evolve on your Pokemon, during your turn, you may switch in one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. Welcome back, Umbreon VMAX. Welcome back, Lycanroc GX. Yep. Double is the same card as those. It's got that ability. When you evolve it, you get a free Gust. And those cards were pretty impactful. Umbreon was a very good card. Lycanroc GX was a very good card. Lycanroc dominated with Zoroark and Buzzwole, and Double is going to do the same thing. And in this type of archetype, right, we've seen this success before with this, like, Zacian-type card, right? The Snorlax would be, like, the Diancie Prism Star. The Zacian would be the Buzzwole. And then the Double would literally be the Lycanroc GX, which is really cool. So definitely a pretty powerful card for the deck. Yeah, just free Gust is really good. I mean, if this card is ever going to see play outside of the Hop deck, I mean, it probably will, right? That ability is really, really strong, and there's a lot of decks that can take advantage of that type of ability. Then we have a Hopps Cramorant with Fickle Spit. For 1 Close Energy, you do 120 damage. If your opponent doesn't have exactly 3 or 4 prizes remaining, the attack does nothing. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I didn't read this card yet. They literally just brought back the baby Buzzwole. That's actually crazy. I didn't even take that in. I knew what the Double did, and I knew what the Zacian did, but I didn't know there was a Cramorant that literally was just Buzzwole. That's crazy. Yeah, there's a baby Buzzwole that literally had like the same attack. It had that Sledgehammer attack that did like 30 plus 90 more damage. Oh my goodness, dude, that's crazy, bro. Welcome back, Buzzrock. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Hopps Cramorant's good. It doesn't have a type. Where Buzzwole being a fighting type was one of the things that made the baby Buzzwole so good. That's crazy though. Wow. Yeah, I didn't know we were getting a Buzzwole too. Oh my goodness. All right. Get some items now. We got Exchange Ticket here. After counting your prize cards, shuffle them and put them onto the bottom of your deck. and then take that many cards from the top of your deck and put them face down as your prize cards. So very interesting card here, right? Kind of reminds me of like an old Rodom Dex card. Yeah, I mean, if you can find a way to like rearrange the top of your deck, you can swap your prizes out, put filler cards in there. Not a bad card at all. There might be other combos for this card I can't think of off the top of my head, but yeah, not a bad, terrible card at all. Bad, terrible card doesn't make any sense. Not a bad card at all. All right, we got Hobz Choice Band. Now, this is kind of crazy. Now, we keep getting good items for these trainer Pokemon, right? We got that Lily's Pearl. We got the ends, you know. And then we got Hobz Choice Band. When the Hobz Pokemon this card is attached, he uses an attack. The attack costs 1 colorless energy less and does 30 more damage to your opponent's active. I don't know why I said 300. Yeah, 30 more damage. So right away, your Hobz Pokemon can do plus 60 more damage with the help of Choice Band and Snorlax. Dude, that's kind of crazy. That Zacian goes from 240 damage all the way to 300. That's kind of wild. Then, of course, removing the colorless energy and the attack cost is kind of wild. You can make the Cramorant do this for 1 energy, or 0 energy. That's crazy, bro. So yeah, immediately insane tool card for the Hop deck. Keep in mind, being the tool is good for Arven, so Arven can play this card. So yeah, Hop's Choice Band is nuts. I can see the Hop archetype working. Now, how you going to build up Zacian is going to be the question. Probably just through Metang, I assume, right? You're going to Metang to Zacian. It needs 3 metal energy with like the Choice Band, removing the colors in the 4 cost, right? So yeah. All right, we got Brock Scouting here. New supporter card. Choose 1. So you got the 2 effects. Search deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon, reveal them, put them in your hand. Then the other effect, search deck for an evolution, reveal it, and put in your hand. I mean, it's okay. I mean, Ultra Ball, Nest Ball are still pretty good. I don't know. I mean, the card's fine. Nothing too crazy. I don't know. I think, honestly, like, Jock is probably a better card. Like, I get the idea of getting 2 basics is sometimes relevant, but, like, Jock is probably just the better card. Because a lot of the time, if you're looking for Pokemon as a supporter, you'd probably rather find an evolution. I feel like Jock is just a better Brock Scouting. It's kind of mid. I mean, if you do play it, it can bail you out if you whiff, like, Turbo Poffin. But, like, with Poffin Arven in the format, it's like, yeah, what's the point? I don't know. I'm not sold on this card. I don't know. I think it's kind of mid. That's my opinion. All right. We have a new stadium here, and this is the last new card I think that got revealed. Post-Wick here, the new stadium. The attacks of Hop's Pokemon, both yours and your opponent, do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Okay, I didn't even see that either. There's another stadium. Oh, my gosh. The Hop's Pokemon are going to hit like a truck. What the heck? So, yeah. Post-Wick allows Hop's Pokemon to do 30 more damage. Okay, wow. So we have the Band, the Post-Wick, and the Snorlax. That's plus 90 more damage Hop's Pokemon do. Yeah, dang, that's crazy. Okay, yeah, the Hop's deck's kind of legit. If you can find a way to reliably power up Zacian, like I said, probably the best way to do that is via Metang. I mean, Zacian can do 330 damage out of nowhere. And, of course, the Cramorant also can do a buttload of damage. Again, that's literally baby Buzzwole. That's crazy. Yeah, they really reprinted Buzzrock. It's even better than Buzzrock, because, like, Buzzrock had Beast Energy. I guess Buzzrock had Beast Energy, Choice Band, and Diancie. This deck has even more damage modifiers. Plus 90 damage modifiers with all these cards combined is pretty diabolical. This is definitely a pretty interesting archetype for sure. I think that's all the new cards got revealed. I'll just refresh the page real quick. Yeah, I don't think there's any other new cards. I think that was all the new cards that got revealed. Yeah, overall, pretty cool stuff. I mean, the highlight is probably the Mamoswine, and then, of course, the entire Hop engine just being insane. Yeah, definitely excited for this. I think the Hop's engine is looking pretty cool. It is nice that they've made the trainer Pokemon playable. Like, the Iono stuff, you got the Rain Dance. The Hop stuff is, like, Buzzrock. Lily's is, like, I'm not sure what Lily's would be. I mean, Zoroark is kind of like a combination of, like, Zoroark GX, Mew VMAX. Or Zoroark, yeah, Zoroark EX. The Ends deck, yes, that's what it is. Okay, but yeah, anyways, definitely excited to play these new trainer cards. Like, oh man, March cannot come sooner, man. And we still have more cards that are probably going to reveal from this new set too. And this is already just like looking pretty dang good. So I'm definitely really excited for this set to come out in March. Let me know what you think of these new cards down below in the comments below. What do you think of Journey Together? Definitely some really exciting stuff here. Some really cool new cards. I'm definitely excited to play around with them when they release. And we'll see what other new cards get revealed before the next set does release. Definitely cool. Yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think. I'll leave a link to Pokebeach if you want to go check them out for yourself. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 19,000 subs. I just made a video today where I did my Prismatic Evolutions set review buy list video, so definitely check that out if you want to after this video. But yeah, thanks for watching, and bye-bye.